The following presentation is controversial and may be offensive to some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. My name's Ian Marsh. I'm CEO and co-founder of Street Smart Marketing with my mentor and friend Mal Emery. Firstly, I'm not here to sell you anything today. This short tutorial has been created to explain to you in the simplest manner possible why most businesses fail, and to share with you some little known secrets that will give you an unfair advantage on your competition if you follow our advice. We firmly believe that if you do not act on the information contained in this tutorial, it could be devastating to your business future. Here's some scary facts. Business failures increased by 46% in 2009-2010. That was bad enough, but have a look here. 2010-2011, business values increased an additional 48% on the previous year. You got to ask yourself, what's causing this to happen? And by the end of this tutorial, you're going to fully understand what's causing this dramatic change in the way business is happening in the world, not just Australia. Here's a simple fact that I'm sure many of you have heard. 80% of businesses disappear within the first 5 years of starting up. And for the business owners that don't heed the information that I'm about to share here today, I believe that statistic will get dramatically higher in the next 2 years. Now, a lot of business owners don't know the reason why these businesses fail, and I'm going to be sharing that with you over this next 10 minutes. And the reason I can share this knowledge and these solutions with you is because we've worked with over 1,000 businesses. We've invested millions of dollars of our own money in research and testing. And you're about to find out what that reason for business failure is. But before we show you that and how you can avoid becoming a statistic, it's important for you to understand who we are and why we're sharing this knowledge with you. You see, we're a group of business owners that have bought, built and sold businesses for the last 20 years. In fact, our own businesses combined have generated well over $100 million in sales. We've worked with everybody from the smallest organisation to the largest corporation, sharing our knowledge and our strategies with them. We've built consultancy businesses, we've built hardware stores, large domestic air conditioning companies, just to name a few of the sort of companies that we've built of our own. And what was the one common thread behind all of these successes? Well, why have we been so successful? It's pretty simple, really. Because our knowledge, strategies and tactics have been never based on theory. They're based on real-life application of the knowledge we use in our own businesses, and then we share that result with our students. You see, sure, theory is good, and when you go to a university and learn these ideas that the professor tells you from the front of the stage, well, it is theoretical. But ask yourself, how many of those professors standing up teaching business in front of everybody are millionaires or multimillionaires themselves? And how many businesses have they created themselves? You see, many of them have lived in that theoretical world all their lives, and they live out of textbooks. And you and I both know that the reality is there's a big difference between theory and practical. So, over the last 30 years, we've tried and tested different ideas and strategies, and then taught those strategies and techniques to our clients so that they usually achieve similar outcomes to what we did. Now you understand why we're confident with the knowledge we share and why we get the results that probably many of you have heard about. So now I'd just like to focus on the next 10 minutes with why we're about to show you what we're about to show you. It will become a blooming flash of the obvious why businesses fail, but it's critical to all success in business, and this could very well change your entire business life for the better. Before we start with that information, I just want to share some other statistics with you. I find this quite amazing, but did you know that only 7.5% of businesses reach $1 million in turnover? 7.5%. So out of 100 businesses, only 7.5 businesses do $1 million in turnover. Now, more amazing is only 0.5% do 5 million or more, and then only 0.6% do 10 million or more. Isn't that amazing? Well, I'm sure you've guessed that the companies that I've built with the strategies that I've learned from Mal, they've all blown those statistics away. But it is interesting to see the facts there. So how do you stack up? Now, here's one other final thought for you. In 10 years' time, only 4% of businesses are still going to be here. You got to ask yourself, do you want to be one of those 4%? That's why when a bank asks you how long you've been in business for, if you tell them that it's 10 years or more, they're going to be loaning you money generally, because they know that you've survived and that you've defied the odds and you must know what you're doing. There's a common cause behind all these failures, one undisputable truth that's been consistent throughout time that separates the massively successful companies from failure. But before I reveal this to you, I want to ask you some questions. Let's look at your marketing that you're doing right now. So as a business owner, how do you attract the prospects into your business? What is the marketing that you're doing right now? Just take this little test. Out of just these few ideas, these 3 tactics that I've got here on the right hand side, how many of them are you utilising in your company right now? Are you utilising direct mail, online social media, telemarketing, voice broadcast, mobile ads, referrals, TV, radio, newspaper, joint ventures competitions, flyers, email marketing, sequential mailing, lumpy mail, podcasts, AdWords, Facebook, books, seminars, free publicity? How many of those strategies are you using right now in your business? Okay, now you've had a chance to think about it, here's the answer of the clients that we've worked with, because we track these. 82% of the businesses we work with can't tick more than 3 methods of marketing in their business. 3 methods that I've just shared there, 82% of businesses don't use. Most of them. In fact, some of them don't use any of them. They just rely on people talking about them and hoping that they'll recommend them to other people. So here's the truth. It's not the fault of the business owner they're not using these strategies. How many of you even know how to implement those strategies in your business? How many of you have been taught how to generate an effective lead generation system for your business? And when you've gotten advice from people, say, have you had a person from a local newspaper come and knock on your door and say, oh look, why don't you advertise with us, we'll do a great deal for you, we'll even write your ad and put it in the paper. Well, here's a fact for you, it might surprise you, but those people that are coming and seeing you, nearly each and every one of them have had very little to no training in how to write an ad. What they've been trained in is how to sell you advertising space, whether it be yellow pages, local paper, whatever the situation. Very few of them really understand marketing. But don't you think they should all be marketers before they offer you this information, because you look to them as experts? The reality is most businesses between $1 million and $15 million in turnover don't have a marketing manager. It's left up to the business owner. And because the business owner has never been trained in that arena, obviously his marketing skills leave a bit to be desired. They've never had any formal training and are busy running a business. So, to take time out to learn the skills that are necessary to be a top marketer is a bit of an ask. In fact, only 5.6% of business owners have studied the principles of business and management, let alone study marketing and sales. So now I've got you thinking about your marketing and what you're doing there. Let's look at your sales. With your conversion, when you've got a lead coming into your business, what happens? What is your conversion rate? Do you even know what your conversion rate is? I'd like to just show you an interesting fact here. Now, think about how you're communicating with your clients right now. On the right-hand side, you see a table. Now, on this table, it's showing you communications that people have with prospects that they have come into their organisation. Over here you'll see contact 1, 50% of people have given up after they've done a quote. So let's just say you've done a proposal for somebody. After the first follow-up, 50% of salespeople have given up and they won't follow up again. Now, after the second follow-up, 65% of salespeople have given up. By the time you get to contact 4, 89.8% of salespeople have given up. So if you do one simple thing right here, right now, and that is commit to do at least 4 follow-ups with any lead that you have, you are going to eliminate 89.8% of your competitors. You are going to start becoming the only logical choice in your prospect's mind. And if you do what we urge you to do, which means stay in contact with them for life, keep communicating with them in an interesting manner, the relationship you build with your clients will be indestructible. By implementing a simple method of sequenced follow-up, we've helped our clients increase their business by over 700%. And I'm being conservative here because I want you to believe the numbers. If I put the real numbers down, there is a risk that you may not believe it. So let's all just say that's an awfully big improvement, just by implementing a sequential communication system with your clients. Now, what about your first impressions with your clients? When you do a quote or a presentation, what does it look like? Does it look a bit like this flick and tick sheet over here? You know, is it a one-shot wonder? You hand them a quote and say, okay, now call me if you've got any questions, and leave it at that. Now, if your communication and your quotes are like this, and I see them day in, day out, quotes worth $10,000, $15,000 all done on a sheet, pretty well like this, and they wonder why they're not converting their clients. So, do you have powerful sale aids in your business, or are your quotes and your communications with your clients looking a bit like these flick and tick sheets? Well, they should be looking like this. You know, when you see a client, you don't get a second chance for a first impression. So you've got to knock their socks off. Now, we've designed a system called a shock and awe, which has absolutely, well, I call it miraculous. Even we were surprised when we designed this at the results that have occurred. This is the brainchild of Mal Emery, and he put all of the pieces together that I'd been studying with him over the last 13 years. He put it into one concise package, and when we put it together and launched it, well, you know, the results are just astounding. There's no other word for it. And just we've got so many testimonials from our clients that have implemented this. It's breathtaking. So when you look at this, it's not hard to imagine why we get the results. When you've got, let's just say it's a pool builder, and you're up against a pool builder that gives a quote looking like this, and then you come across and you do a presentation and hand them something like this, answering all their questions, you know the odds are starting to get stacked in your favour. When you start telling them all about your story and who you are and what you've achieved, and you're not having to sell them because they've received this information in their hands before you even walk in the door, and they're amazed by the quality of the material and the skill and the commitment that you have in your business, well, you know, logic tells you that you've got a lot better chance than the average teddy bear at converting the sale. So the reason I'm showing you this is to ask you what conversion tools you're using in your business to generate the sale. Are they $1 million conversion tools? If they're not, I want you to be thinking what you're going to do to fix that, because you need to have powerful tools so that you can stand out from your competitors, because there is so much competition out there now. It costs you 3 times more to get a client today than it did 10 years ago. If you had sales weapons like these, what do you think would happen to your conversions? Well, here it is. Here's the first secret. You must have a cost-effective lead generation and conversion system in your business. That's one of the reasons, one of the major reasons, why businesses today are failing, because they have not worked out how to generate an effective lead generation system and conversion system. I hope that's helped you. I hope you've taken a close look at your marketing pieces. If you would like assistance with anything, just please give us a call. We're here to help. And I would recommend that you perhaps come and join me for breakfast one morning when you see me travelling around the country at one of our Business Mastery events.